Hey everyone, welcome to this Restoke tutorial. Today we're diving into one of the most important parts of your food costing journey, setting up and costing your prep recipes. Now, before we get started, I need to mention something really important. Make sure you've already added your suppliers first. Your supplier items are the building blocks for everything we're about to do here. If you haven't set up your suppliers yet, go back and watch our uploading suppliers tutorial first, then come back here. All right, let's jump in. So what exactly are prep recipes? Prep recipes are any batch items you prepare in-house that go into your final dishes, and sometimes even into other prep recipes. Think of things like sauces, marinades, dressings, stocks, anything you make from scratch that becomes an ingredient in your menu items. And this is your starting point for accurate recipe costing, because once you cost these out properly, everything else flows from here. Pretty crucial stuff, right? Let me show you how to set them up. There are two ways you can create your prep recipes in Restoke. The first method is bulk creating. This is perfect if you've already got your recipes documented somewhere. You can upload them and Restoke will create your recipes automatically. We'll look at that in a moment. The second method is manually adding them one by one. This gives you more control and is great if you're building from scratch or want to be really precise. Let's start with the manual method so you can see exactly how everything works. First things first, let's create a category to keep things organized. I'm going to click on Recipes, then Prep Recipes. Perfect. Now you can see I'm in the Prep Recipes section. I'm going to click this plus new category button in the top right corner. Think sauces, stocks, dressings, marinades, whatever makes sense for your kitchen. I'll name this one House Sauces, and I can attach an image if I want. If I don't, Restoke will automatically add one that matches the category name. Pretty neat, right? I'll click Save, and there we go. Category created. Now let's create an actual prep recipe. I'm clicking plus new recipe in the top right corner. I'll call this one Chipotle Mayo in my house sauces category. Perfect. Now here's where the magic happens. I'm going to start adding my ingredients line by line. Let me type in the first ingredient, mayonnaise. Look at this, it's popping up in a drop-down with my supplier items. For example, in this case, I'm going to select the one I buy from my supplier, Pantry Essentials Co. This is really important because this is how Restoke pulls the actual cost. If I just type free text instead of selecting from the drop-down, it won't have a cost attached and won't track properly. Now I need to enter the quantity and unit of measurement. I'm using 500 grams of mayo for this recipe. Let me enter that here. You'll notice the UOM here is recipe specific, how you're actually using it, not how you ordered it from your supplier. I ordered this mayo in a 2-kilo jar, but here I am only using 500 grams. See this red recipe issue button that just appeared? That's Restoke telling me it doesn't know the conversion yet. Let me click on it to show you. It's asking me, how many grams are in your jar of mayo? This is a one-time setup. I'll enter 2,000 grams because my jar is 2 kilos. And I'll click Save. And there we go. You can see a cost has now appeared for that ingredient. The beautiful thing is, this conversion is now saved forever. Every time I use this mayo in any recipe going forward, Restoke already knows the conversion. No need to do it again. Let me add a few more ingredients to round out this recipe. Chipotle peppers, lime juice, garlic. Same process, select from the drop-down, enter quantities, create any conversions if needed. Now here's a really important part. I need to enter the quantity produced down here. This tells Restoke how much this recipe actually makes. It's the final yield after taking into account any prep wastage. For this Chipotle mayo, I'm making 600 grams total. Let me enter that here. And look what happens. Over here on the top right, You can now see my total cost. This prep recipe cost me $4.50 to make 600 grams. If you're not seeing a cost appear, it usually means one of your ingredients is missing a conversion, or you accidentally entered free text instead of selecting from the dropdown. Now, a pro tip, it's recommended to use easily convertible units like grams, kilograms, milliliters, or liters for your quantity produced. Makes life so much easier when you use this prep in other recipes later. Now let me show you something really clever. See this portions section here? This lets you calculate different portion sizes. You've got two options. By count, where you tell Restoke how many portions you're making, and it calculates the size of each portion for you. Or by size, where you tell it what size you want each portion to be, and it calculates how many portions you can make. Finally, let's add some instructions so your team knows how to make this. I'm going to scroll down to the instructions section and type in some quick instructions here. Perfect. My prep recipe is now complete and fully costed. Now, if you've got a bunch of recipes written up but don't have them properly organized with all the details, those can still come in handy, as you also have the option to paste the recipe while manually costing a recipe. Let me show you how. Now see, I've created this patties category and then created a recipe card for Angus beef patty. I'll click inside this and I'll select paste recipe. I'll paste in my recipe, analyze. Watch. Restoke has analyzed my text and is suggesting me to add these items to my recipe. Super handy, right? Finally, let's look at our bulk upload method. Say, if you've got your recipes neatly organized in a document, then you can use that to create multiple recipes in one swift go. Here, I'm going to click this magic wand icon in the bottom right corner. This is the bulk upload feature. I can drag in a PDF, Word doc, Excel file, pretty much any format. Restoke will analyze it and automatically create your prep recipes. Watch this. I'm going to drag in this document with 3 of my other sauce recipes. It's processing. And there we go. All 3 recipes have been created. Now, you'll still need to review these to make sure all the conversions are correct and everything's properly connected, but it saves you tons of time on the initial setup. Just go through each one and verify the costs are showing up correctly. Now, just a quick note on organization. Recipes are sorted alphabetically by default, but you can actually drag and drop them into any order you want. And if you ever need to export your recipes, just click into the category. Then click on these 3 vertical dots on any recipe card and select Export to CSV. You can also switch between the grid view and the list view here. In the list view, you have the option to do some bulk actions. Oh, and one more thing. If you ever make a mistake with a conversion, don't worry. All conversions are stored with that item. You can edit them directly from the recipe by clicking this gear icon next to the ingredient, or you can edit them in your supplier settings under Purchases. And that's it. You've now got your prep recipes set up and fully costed. Remember, these prep recipes are the foundation for your dish recipes, which we'll cover in the next video. Once you've got all your prep recipes costed out, you'll be able to build your full menu items and get complete, accurate food costing for everything you serve. The more accurate you are here, the better your overall food costing will be. Now it's time for you to give it a go, and as always, reach out to our support team via the in-app chat if you need a hand. Thanks for watching.